Hey guys, so in today's video, I thought that I would address a question that I have been asked by a few people, and I'm not sure if you guys would have the same questions, so I figured I will just talk about it. So I was recently asked by someone in my personal life if I regretted switching from the sleep center back to being a full-time medical assistant in the urgent care clinic. And in some ways, I kind of do, but in other ways, I know that it was the right decision to make for me for multiple reasons. So I definitely miss all of the learning and interaction and kind of the um, autonomy, I guess is the word that I'm thinking of, that I had working in the sleep center. I loved like the interactions with my patients, learning about how to help people continue to breathe while they're asleep, learning all the different things about sleep apnea and the different types of sleep apnea and things like that. Like, I am someone who is constantly looking for any opportunity I can get to learn. And so, like, I definitely enjoyed being up there. But what I don't miss about the sleep center is the crazy schedule. I do miss the coworkers that I had up there once that one coworker that I had a negative experience with left. Um, because we were a good team. It just absolutely sucks that, like, I had to make that decision to switch back down to the clinic. Um, the main thing is, as a person who has multiple chronic illnesses and health problems that are pretty serious, I have to make the best decision for myself. And I was not able to get sleep. I was not able to adjust to either a day shift or a night shift schedule because, as you guys know, if you've watched any of those videos, I was being scheduled to work multiple day shifts and multiple night shifts in the same week. And so it was way too difficult for my body. And I just, like I said, I never had a chance to really adjust to one schedule or another. And I wish that there was something that my boss could have done so that I could have continued being up there. I also liked the compensation because I was making more an hour working as a sleep tech, obviously, than I am working as a medical assistant. Um, but again, I knew that I was going to be taking a pay cut, and I had discussed this in my videos before I actually made the switch back down to the clinic. When I told you guys that it's like $2 an hour less than what I was making working as a sleep tech, to be down in the clinic working as a medical assistant in the urgent care. Um, I just feel like, again, I did make the best decision for myself, but at times I do regret it. I regret needing to make that decision. I regret that there was not any other options available. And I get that I work in like a small hospital. It is a rural clinic that I work in. We are a critical access hospital. And like I said in previous videos, there were only two of us. There were two sleep techs working in the sleep center. And so, you know, obviously we were supposed to be on a rotating schedule where one of us would work day shift, one of us would work night shift, and I was still in the orientation and training process. So like, I understand why they said they couldn't offer me anything else, because I still needed, like on night shift, I still needed the other sleep tech to be there because I was still learning things, and I hadn't run a study completely 100% without anybody else there yet. So I get, like I said, why they needed me to work these hours with her, but it was just very frustrating because, like I said, I loved the whole learning process. I loved learning about everything sleep related. I was actually doing really, really good at my job. And so I was a little bit frustrated that I needed to even consider switching back down to the clinic. Not that I'm not good at my job as a medical assistant. Like, I go above and beyond to make sure that my patients have everything that they need, that all of their questions have been answered, and that they feel satisfied, or as satisfied as we're going to get them feeling by the end of their visit with whatever provider I'm working with that day, because there are multiple providers that cover the urgent care clinic depending on which day of the week it is and what time of the day it is. Because like, we have a provider who works for 10 hours. We also have two other providers that normally kind of switch days in the urgent care, and they only work 8 hours. So you know, there's that. But I don't know. I wish that things had been different, like I said, because I really did enjoy working as a sleep tech. I loved like learning how to run a sleep study, learning everything that goes into it. And I love sharing my knowledge with you guys. And so it does make me sad that I had to make that decision. But again, like, especially right now when everything with my liver is kind of ramping back up again, it really makes me understand that I did make the best decision for myself, because I know that if I was working in the sleep center, that these health problems probably would have been getting worse prior to now. Like, I was able to last a fairly decent amount of time before I ended up getting sick again and had to go back to the emergency room. But just the way that I was pushing my body up in the sleep center and not getting enough sleep, not being able to really recover from any days, I think I would have ended up back in the hospital well before now. And so, yes, I do regret having to switch, but I do love my job. So I don't want people who see this, who know me in my personal life, to think that I don't love my job, because I absolutely do. I love interacting with patients on a daily basis, and working as a medical assistant, doing clinic nursing tasks, like, it is way different. And it is something that, you know, I already had prior training and experience in, so I didn't really need any orientation time or training when I switched back. And, you know, it was a good move for the clinic because they are definitely having staffing issues down there. Even now, like, I had been moved all over the place. Obviously, I've been off this last week because of my health, so it's been stressful, and I'm sure that they've been struggling to find coverage. But, you know, I can only do so much. I'm only one person, and I can't help it if I get sick and if my health is not the greatest, because, like I said, I do have multiple chronic illnesses, and I'm just doing my best to survive from day to day. And I'm still trying to make sure that I'm caught up on all of my schoolwork as well, because not feeling the best and kind of having to go back and forth to the hospital has kind of made me get a little bit behind in that as well. I have like 6 assignments that are due by tomorrow and an exam that I haven't taken yet. So I have my laptop open right here, and I've been studying and looking at different things and doing writing assignments and trying to get everything submitted. I need to work on this essay first before I do the other ones, because this one is due before the other ones. So yeah. But anyways, I do kind of regret it, but at the same time, I know it was the best decision for myself. So hopefully that answered your question if you were wondering the same thing. And yeah, that is all I have for today. If you guys have any questions, comments, any topics you'd like me to discuss on my channel in the future, I would be glad to film something for you. And with that being said, that's all I have for today. So I will talk to you guys next time.